and mothers and brothers and cheese wedges and handlebars all over the world. Rise and shine, let it grow and let it flow. Good morning, and thank you for joining me on my way to work today. Pumped up, ready to go, motivated, unstoppable feeling. Nothing gonna get me down. Watch, somebody will cut me off in about halfway to work. It always happens, right? Just when you think that you're in your happy place. I try to get out, but they keep pulling me back in. Good morning, got my Wawa coffee mug. This is brought to you this morning by Wawa. They're now building Wawas in Florida. It's like a Philly, Pennsylvania thing. Actually, 6 states. Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey. I forget where else. But they started putting them in Florida. A very good friend of mine is contracted with the recycling and trash with the Wawa organization. Woman I know started an environmental recycling company, a trash company making compactors and various forms of dealing with trash, organic and non-organic, doing it in a environmentally responsible way. It's kind of interesting. Very successful woman. CEO of a company in Chester, Pennsylvania. Very successful woman. Maybe I'll interview her one of these days. Hey, what motivates you? Oh, before we go any further, today's beard is this is the Northwoods beard. I'm very happy to be a Northwoods beard guy. The oil is beautiful. The balm is magnificent. If you like the look that you see today, then give Northwoods Beard Company a little shout out. Screenshot this, do something. Whatever. But I like the products, I like the people, and that's a big deal. You know, the people behind the products are really good. United Beard Nation. People have reached out to me and have been personable with me, and I got to know the people behind some products. United Beard Nation, Stephen Delgado, Roger and Dana from Northwoods Beard Company, Eric from Beard Brand, Alan Dobmeyer from Big Dobbs Beard Balm. People that I've personally have gotten to know. It's interesting how Kingsman Beard Company, big, nice relationship, big fan of their products. Big fan of their products. What motivates you? What kind of things, like when you were down in your life, excuse me while I have a string cheese on my way to work. Get that protein rocket. What motivates you? I will tell you that I used to listen to motivational material, Dale Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, this kind of stuff. Read it, watch it, listen to it. Russell Conwell, the most amazing book in my lifetime is called Acres of Diamonds. You must read it. You can buy it or download it for free. It's on the web somewhere, by Russell Conwell. He's the founder of Temple University. But take a look at Acres of Diamonds. Read it. It's a short book. Read it. It may be the single most impactful book that you ever read in your lifetime. It has in mine. In 1968, my mother bought it for my father. How old was he? My dad was probably about late 20s, early 30s, I guess. I don't know. In 1968. I have the book on the inside front cover. My mom writes, my dad's name is George too, you know, to my husband George, may you get your acres of diamonds, or something to that effect. Actually, I want to take a screenshot of it. But I think it's really neat how we encounter wake-up calls in our lifetime that motivate us. Acres of Diamonds was always on my bookshelf growing up. My mother gave it to my dad when I was 8 years old. And it was always on the bookshelf in the house. I picked it up and read it at a young age. It lit a fire in me. Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. I knew the information, but I never acted on it. It's interesting. I grew up with those books in my house. I would encourage you to get those books. Let your kids read them. It's important. I remember dealing with, for what reason, I don't know, because you can bog yourself down trying to figure out why you are the way you are. You can waste decades trying to figure out why you make the choices you do. It's basically mental masturbation. You're just like mentally jerking off. There's zero benefit to figuring out, like for instance, getting a degree in psychology. For most people, I'd say 90% of the people do it because they're trying to figure them damn selves out. And they come up with they came up through a frigged up home, and they're basically just trying to work out their own shit by getting a degree in psych or counseling or some bullshit like that. Pretty much bullshit degrees. The 10% are making a living and want to help people, and it's great. I'm talking about the 90%. But here's the deal with that. Trying to figure out, and I know people who've been in therapy for years trying to figure shit out. Guess what? It's like polishing your fucking car forever. Listen, you can polish a car so much, you can polish the clear coat and the paint right off of it. So trying to figure out why you are the way you are, there's a point, there's the, it's the law of diminishing returns. The more you do it, like for instance, the more you many things in life, the more you do, the more reward you get. When it comes to trying to figure out why you are the way you are, then the law of diminishing returns comes into play, and that means the more you do it, the less you get. There's no payoff at the end. You got that? So don't try to figure that shit out. Seriously. I was into a lot of motivational stuff for decades, and I was melancholy. I tend to lean towards a darker. I'm darker. I'm just a darker, more melancholy kind of person. I can tell no lie. I like horror movies, sci-fi, darker things. I don't like well-lit movies. I like darker movies. I like darker themes. I don't know why. Maybe because it's a reflection of who I am. I tend to be a little more melancholic and darker as a person. When you grow up and your favorite actor is Vincent Price, you're a little bit dark. When you stay up for chiller theater at midnight when you're like just a little kid, you're a little bit dark, and that's okay. And I've learned to kind of dance with that and just kind of roll with that flow. But trying to figure crap out for decades got me nowhere. As a matter of fact, this is what it got me. It actually just kind of kept me alive, because there's times, and I shared this before, where I wanted to end my life. Man, nobody could stop me. There's nothing that could help me. I didn't want to be here. And I acted on it once. And it took years for me to even talk about it, because I was ashamed of it, embarrassed of it. Now I'm nowhere near that, but there was a point in my life where I just didn't want to live. And I felt that way since I was 14 years old. Just didn't want to live. And just walked around with my head hanging for a long time. So So motivational material kept me alive. It didn't actually make me rich. It kept me alive. It actually kept me alive. So when I went from the first generation of motivational material, Zig Ziglar, Napoleon Hill, Dale Carnegie, Russell Conwell, then I started moving on to more motivational speakers. Rather than reading books, I was listening to people like Zig Ziglar and Brian Tracy, Dennis Waitley, and then later on Anthony Robbins. And then some of the people that really helped change my life, really helped change my life, and I don't know if it's the protocol that helped me out. I guess one thing, all of those early things, Napoleon Hill's, Dale Carnegie's, and Russell Conwell, they were the foundation for all the other things. But then I encountered Jay Abraham and Dan Kennedy, which honestly changed my life. I related to them more than anyone else. It was amazing. Earl Nightingale, amazing. You need to have those in your library. Jay Abraham changed my life. Teach me how to view things differently. Put on a different set of lenses to view the world differently. Dan Kennedy wrote me a letter. I wrote him a letter. He actually wrote me back. I don't know if he's still writing people back personally. And the concept of massive action, taking action, came to me through Dan Kennedy. Dan Kennedy, I can say, changed my life. Through Dan Kennedy, I learned that action cures fear, and nothing else cures fear. There's no therapy in the world. There's no counselor, psychologist, life coach. None of that stuff changed my life as much as Dan Kennedy has. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. What motivates you? Give me some quotes that have motivated you. Help the community that is also watching this right now. There's a lot of people that are going to be watching this video forever. As long as YouTube is available, this video will be up. And people will be benefiting from it. I'm really starting to see the power of YouTube. I'm starting to see the power of the community of my followers and subscribers and how they help each other out. So if I can empower, encourage, and stimulate you to share the things that have helped you, it's not me that's the genius. It's you that are the genius, because you're helping other people. And I think that's just an incredible use of YouTube. It's being a good steward of the media, rather than popping zits and farting and making videos, which that's always another way to make money on YouTube, is to make fart videos and zit popping videos, but that's not my thing. I want people to actually benefit. When people finally, click off or go to another video, when they get done watching my videos, I want them to benefit. I want you to take away a crumb of truth, a crumb of motivation. So put down below anything that you feel is going to be helpful to other people that are watching this video. What authors have you read? What quotes have you heard that have moved you, that got you out of bed when you weren't feeling quite with it, when you had no motivation? What gave you a little bit of energy? What was your mental caffeine? Put it down below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with someone who you think would appreciate it. That would be awesome. So get yourself motivated. You can do it. I know you can, because I believe in you. Now go out and do it.